How do you handle a one-person parrot? That can be pretty challenging because parrots can actually be really mean. And if your parrot loves you and only you or someone in your family, then it's possible that everyone else in the family is being stalked and is feeling not only left out and unloved, but a little scared. Hi, I'm Kaylin, the author of The Parrot Bliss Bond, and these are my gardening tools. They snip plants for me. They're known as a macaw. This is my Harlequin macaw, Cammy, who is not actually a one-person bird, but she is a gardener. In this video, we're talking to you about how to handle a one-person bird. One of the greatest challenges with parrots is keeping anything straight. Next, actually I kind of appreciate this because this leaf was like right in the way. So it's not gonna be in the way anymore. Okay, hey, gentle. No, gentle. Come on. How do you handle a bird that likes many people but has a beak? Seriously, when you have a bird that only likes one person. So here's some of the psychology to help you understand some of what's going on. In the wild, even though parrots will be in flocks with 20 parrots, 200 parrots, I love sending her flying, 2,000 parrots, what will happen is they will belong with the flock. They're a part of the flock. They know the whole flock. Oh, that's funny. She didn't want to come because of the palm fronds that are in her way. There you go. And yet, even though they belong to this group, they have one mate. So you could say that that's my other macaw. So you could say that even though they are this total collective, they're really monogamous and have one mate. That one mate is the bird that they're intimate with, and although they're connected with the whole flock, that's the one that they're going to not let other birds come around. So that's the way they are. That's their social structure, huh, sweetie? And changing that may not be possible because that's really the way they are programmed, if you will, so that they have their families and propagate the species. Now, when your parrot has chosen you, that means that chances are your parrot doesn't have another one of its species, and or your parrot is just very used to being around humans, specifically you, or whoever it is that they've chosen. Taking that out of them, I think, is unrealistic. It may not be logical because it's like taking feathers off a parrot. That's a part of parrotness. So the better question is, unfortunately, we're not really going to be able to get the parrot to be more social and be nice to everyone. So what can we do? And what you can do is work with the fact that they're like that. Okay, don't eat the tripod. Come on. All right, had to rescue my tripod. So what you can do. My Amazon parrot is a one-person parrot. She chose me, and there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. My parents used to try to pick her up. My dad used to say to her, but I'm your mom's dad, so I'm like family, and you should really like me. And my dad was a veterinarian, and a lot of the parrots just liked him. And so it was really, really fun and cool because it's like, I'm going to tell this bird to like me and she's going to like me. But of course it did not work. Lorenzo, my yellow nape, is just a one-person bird. It also means that if my daughter is just walking by my Amazon in the kitchen, she can get lunged at and bitten if she's not careful. Good, bad, right, or wrong. That's just parrotness. It's not acceptable in my household. It is what it is, and so we deal with it. How do we deal with it? If my daughter's going to be down and around my yellow nape, I move my yellow nape. I put her in a cage. Like now, she doesn't have an open door policy now. While my daughter's down and around, the yellow nape doesn't have permission to lunge and bite, so she's in a cage. You know, things like that. My yellow nape will allow me to be with her and be watching TV in bed, and my husband can be by me. Like, she'll tolerate that. My husband can't, like, obviously hold my hand or do anything to a parent because she'll start to feel threatened, and then she'll start to threaten him. But as long as she feels like she has me, then she's fine. So we work with it. So option number one, you kind of work with a challenging situation. And gosh, parrots seems like they always have challenging situations. Are you enjoying those? They look dried out, huh? Yeah, it's too bad those palm seeds aren't better for you. The second way that I would deal with it is if you have a Quaker, because someone wrote us about a Quaker that is a one-person bird, please understand that it's not personal. When the Quaker attacks someone, it's just the Quaker being a Quaker or the parrot being parrotness. It's not personal. Now, what I would do is I would get a second Quaker, and it doesn't really matter whether it's the same gender or the opposite gender. My palm is getting trimmed, which is fine. It probably, I think it needed it. I would get a second Quaker because a couple of things can happen. One is when there's parrot time, you know, time that you're hanging out with the parrots, now there's a parrot that each person can be with. Or the Quaker might take to the second Quaker and replace some of the, like, attachment bond. Hey, gentle, gentle. If you want to go back up there, I will help you, but don't bite me. Be gentle. And it's not to say that I would get the Quaker not to bond with me. It's to say, first of all, I'd like to keep my hair clipped. Thank you very much. It's to say that the Quaker will, I think, always stay bonded with you. But the Quaker's just going to have more than one place to bond, because the Quaker's also going to have its flock. So that means that it's going to add some sense, generally speaking, because there's always exceptions, but it should add some sense of the flock. It should add some sense of well-being. It should add some sense of kind of being a little more calm, because the one flock member is, you know, it's like when the Quaker only has one flock member, he or she feels threatened because, like, that's its whole life. Whereas if there's another Quaker, all of a sudden now, like, things change. All of a sudden, the Quaker's well-being isn't necessarily in one person. It may be in a person and another bird. Now, the Quaker may totally ignore, attack, avoid the second Quaker. That could be the case. But if you choose to go that route, a part of how you're doing it or why you're doing it, I think, should be that the other human is going to also have a parrot to hang out with. And in my experience, when a one-person parrot, you know, just sees other birds, they just are more calm. It's just like, hey, no pinching my arm. No. What do I have there? They're going to be a little more calm, and it just makes it easier on them and therefore on you. But like I said, so you go into it with the mindset of maybe we'll each have a Quaker to hang out with. Maybe the Quaker will be a little more calm. maybe the Quaker will have another buddy and calm down. You can also, of course, try things like CBD oil, which help calm a parrot, because really a part of what's going on is some of the social structure is a little off for them. And that's why they're a little more clingy, I think, than they should be. But in all fairness, I'm going to contradict myself and say I think that what's also true, though, is, you know, in nature, they're one mate. Like, that's the only one that they do certain things with. And so the Quaker is expecting that of their human. So you've kind of got both things going on, and you kind of have to feel the waters and navigate and see what's going to work for you. Maybe adding another bird is not an option. Maybe it's a great idea. Maybe adding another bird and each of you having a bird to hang out with is a great idea, because then even if the Quakers each have their own cage and they're side by side in their cages, they're going to be happier in the sense that they're going to feel like there's more natural flock, and you might be happier because when you're having time with the birds, you're having time and you each have a bird, and when you're having time with the humans, the Quakers are fine, you know, or that maybe not fine, but they're better. It's a better setup. So that's some options to try to find what works for you. Yes, having a one-person parrot is challenging, and most parrots are going to be one-person parrots. So you kind of have to know that. The smaller parrots seem to be more of an exception. While they do have a person that they prefer, they kind of seem to be more able to go to different people in the family. Or if a parrot is raised, for example, my red-crowned Amazon has been raised with everyone in the family. Everyone handles him, and so far he's friendly with everyone. But he's only a couple years old, so we'll see what happens, especially once the hormones kick in, because that changes things. And that is the topic for the next video. How do you handle a hormonal parrot? This girl here is not hormonal. She's young and playful. Woo! Woo! And a lot of fun and a lot of trouble. Woo! Especially if you're a palm tree. All right, I'll catch you next time. Be sure to like the video if you haven't already. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. Catch you next time.